Indeed, with a lot of people giving up their time just to provide a lot of fun tonight. And here we go. We're starting right now.
So, Dynasty, going into this, what item is going to be trolling these guys today? What are you looking for as far as a trolley item?
Let's go for a trolley mirror.
That would be nice. What about that Swamp Palace small key that locks that entire dungeon?
That's an evil one to lock.
Yep, because it doesn't just lock that one item, it locks everything in the Swamp Palace. Other than that one chest, anyway.
Now, already we're seeing a bit different tactics here. It looks like Pachu is going for the Hoolihan room, farming a bit of rupees in the beginning.
Yeah, it's nice to get some quick bombs on money under your belt, especially right before you go into Kakariko Town. And just some bombs and uncles, so not too much from that part of the escape, anyway.
At least it's early bombs. It's always fun. It gives you a safe going into Kakariko village, so you have everything needed to bomb those walls.
Yeah, this is true. You can bomb Blind's Hut and you can bomb in the race game, too. It looks like
Now,
we're having Andy go checking out the lumberjack ledge. See if we have a. No, he's going to the forest first.
and it looks like our first level triple is only small hearts, so not that useful.
And that's just a heart container in the forest. Not much there. We'll see what's on the ledge. Mageius, on the other hand, is going into the castle itself.
Ooh, with only 10 bombs and nothing else. That's a risky play.
Yeah, for sure. Because you do have to deal with a bunch of knights down here. So hopefully he can deal with them with what he has.
Well, if he's able to do it, congrats on him. That's not easy with the equipment he has.
And just a compass on the ledge there. It will let him know how many items are in a dungeon and how many he has to get left. But that's about all that compass is going to do for him.
Indeed, Keysanity has a bit new features. Not only does it shuffle around all the keys and the big keys, it does also shuffle around the map and compasses. And as you just said, the compass shows you how many items are left to get in the dungeon. And the map actually shows you if the dungeon has a pendant and or a crystal, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So if you look at your map beforehand, and that's the flippers in Blind Zone, so that's a nice pickup.
Indeed.
And I did not catch what Apache just saw on the lumberjack ledge. That's a Thieves Town small key, so not too much there.
Yeah, until he finds the big key, so Thieves Town, pretty much only 4 chests in the beginning, and that's it. That big key door comes in pretty early in that dungeon.
See what the well holds for us. Not too much yet. And that's half magic. That's a nice pickup. Half magic and the cape. That's an interesting setup to get early. Especially the cape.
Could make for pretty fun strats at the end game.
It does look like Andy picked up the Eastern Palace big key, so that's a nice pickup for him.
Yep, that's gonna help him go pretty much all over the place. He'll just be still locked by the bow to go defeat the boss, so the big key doesn't open up much for now. Except the big chest, of course.
It would be amusing if the boat's actually in that big chest.
If it is, wow.
Okay, so we'll keep an eye on the extra screen because he's actually going towards the lumberjack ledge. So we'll actually get a good idea of what it is this time. And of course, I say that, and he runs away from it.
I think he's trying to find out what's the next level for the triple. No luck today.
Bush crab only having some hearts as well. All right, let's see if we can see what this item is. All right, it's a small key. So if that's a small key to swamp, and swamp is a crystal.
Uh-oh.
Well, we'll might have to come back and see that later. And that's the moon pearl by the bottle vendor.
That's a nice jewel to buy off. Of course, they are still limited to light war for now because no titans and no hammer. So there's still more exploration before Dark World access. That was a small key in the library too. Note that it's another small key that's locked somewhere.
See what the race game holds, if he has to come back or not. And that's just a compass, so no race game today.
Saves a bomb in about 15 seconds.
It looks like Andy's going to make the southern coast play, and everyone else is clearing out Kakariko Town at the moment.
Yeah, so far it's pretty tame. Looks pretty much like any open seed. Of course, they do have a nice set of flippers they could use to go check some Zora stuff, but it might come in only for later on. We'll see about that.
So with all four of them having the Eastern Palace big key, there'll probably be all four of them heading over that general vicinity right after the southern shore here.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense considering Sashwala has 3 items and there's, I believe, 4 more items they can check in Eastern with that big key.
And he's going to take a look at Mini Moldarm Cave to see what this one holds for us. Kind of a pain to deal with this cave with just bombs, though.
Yeah, you gotta do some good old Moldorm fishing.
Yeah, he makes very nice work of it, though.
Yeah, that was some pretty good luck. And he gets a hammer on the first chest. Nice find.
The hammer does that nice tempered sword damage right off the bat, so definitely nice to have.
Makes for a good permanent weapon to carry around. Of course, a sword would be equally good. Tempered sword, that is, to do as much damage. But a hammer will be just as good. Even better, I think, just because it opens up so much.
Yeah, hammer can be one of those trolley items that likes to hide.
Yes, and it locks a lot of places. Dark World access, a lot in Palace of Darkness, Swamp, Ice, a lot of places you really want it for.
Yeah, the man under the bridge is just having a pack of bombs, so not much from him today. It'll be interesting if Andy heads up to the big fish without having the money for it. He'll probably check out the cave at least.
Yeah, the Waterfall Cave and Zora Ledge, usually the places they look out for, and maybe come back later with the money if they decide to check Catfish or something like that.
It looks like Andy just heading straight over to Ice Cave. Flippers make Ice Cave a little bit easier to route in. Not quite as long as a walk over here.
Indeed.
Alright, Tower Harry Big Key. That's a nice pickup. Opens the entire northern upper floors of Tower for him.
Yeah, that's a real nice find. Of course, not exactly have access to Tower of Hera yet. Still need a mirror for that, or the hook shot.
Yeah, it's good to get out of the way though at this point. At least they'll look for it later. We still don't know if it's crystal or pendant yet either.
True, and this city is only 10 minutes in. There's plenty of stuff to find around. There's a lot of items they still need to complete this, so yeah, this is just starting.
Power Glove, so that's a nice find. I believe that does give Andy Dark World access now.
Yep, with that power glove it is. And the powder is a nice safety too.
Yep, and with the hammer he can check the magic bat now also.
Yeah, another location to check. Of course, it's not a very valuable location for now, but once he decides to do all these side questing things around Kakariko, we'll probably check that.
Looks like Andy's gonna check the backside of the escape. Lucas, Intrain, they're all playing the same seed, yes. It is the top two against each other and the bottom two against each other. So Andy is playing Magius and Pachu is playing X-Rock, but all four of them are playing the same seed.
And looks like Sewers was a bust.
There's still that one dark cave that they can, that one dark chest that they can get to, but a lot of people will get to come back there when they get the lamp. Andy's gonna do the hula hand strat now to get some more money under his belt.
Yep, that's a cool strat. It's a bit harder to do than the other one Pachu did early on. It gives the same results.
It is to note that you can only do this hula hand room once per seed. The game will only let you do it once. And it looks like Andy's gonna make his way to the prison part of the escape to see what Zola's would have held for him.
Yeah, with
And
that
Mage's
hammer.
not too far behind him.
Yeah, I believe with the hammer, it's gonna make it a lot easier to go through than just using bombs.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, those guards will go down rather quickly with the hammer. We do have 3 of the 4 runners playing our custom sprites. We have Andy with his trademark Pug sprite. Pachu's playing the Maple Queen sprite, and then X-Rock is playing the Moogle sprite, so a little bit of divergence there from the norm.
Indeed, it's always fun to see all these sprites around. Makes for a bit more entertaining in my eyes just to commentate. Link is still the best sprite, of course, since he is the original guy, but yeah.
I mean, it's like having a different kind of coffee in the morning, you know? You get your same flavor, but a little bit different.
Oh, Pachu just did Hype Cave, and doesn't look like it was very hype.
Yeah, that's the Cave of Infinite Sadness.
No hype for him today.
Paradox Cave is becoming the new hype cave, I think.
Yeah, I think I agree with that now. It's been a while since I wanted to make my change from that, but yeah, Hype Cave is pretty dead now. Except when it isn't.
Big key to Thieves Town with the hammer. That's a nice pickup. Gonna make that chest of Thieves Town accessible right off the bat.
Yeah, and Pachu just found out the big key to Skull Woods at the guy there. Forgot his name for a moment.
Stumpy.
Yeah, exactly.
Key to Skull Woods is only really useful with the big chest. Otherwise, you can pretty much get around in there without it.
Yeah, because the latter part is more locked behind the fire rod rather than a big key lock.
Correct. And Andy is going to talk to Sarashla. So we see the green pendant is at Desert Palace. So Desert Palace is going to be our green pendant for today. So that's going to be a free item if they can get over there and finish that off.
Gets the small key for Castle Tower. Might play later on if they want to go clear Agahim, which may be required considering the small key in Lumberjack Cave. Still need another small key to actually go hit the wizard, and a sword too.
It looks like X-Rock is looking around in that Castle Town. And there are 2 chests in Castle Town as well that they can grab. So if the Swamp Palace key is in Castle Tower, they might have to go back there to get it anyway.
Yep, and if you ever have seen any races from Randomizer and A Link to the Past, you probably know that it's often rare, especially in open mode, that you come back into dungeons many times. But in Keysanity, it's a whole other game where going up in dungeons multiple times is it's normal. Happens a lot, especially in dungeons that has a lot of keys like Palace of Darkness. You can go in there, find your progression, come out, find another progression elsewhere, another key for Palace of Darkness, in the end up in Palace of Darkness again, just to progress even more elsewhere.
Yeah, it's definitely a exercise in routing efficiently for sure.
It's a bit more puzzly, I would think.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. You got to make sure all the pieces fit together in what kind of way.
With that said, that's why it's always interesting seeing these guys going different routes, because you don't really know who's doing better until really the end, where somebody enters Gen Tower. Now that's probably the point where you see, okay, he's doing well right now.
So we didn't have the bow in the big chest, but we did have a rod. I believe that was the fire rod, I want to say. No, it was the ice rod.
Still, that's a nice thing to find. Ice Rod doesn't have as much uses as the Fire Rod, but it's still pretty useful on a few places here and there.
Yeah, if Turtle Rock is going to be a crystal, that's going to be necessary.
Indeed.
Andy is definitely well versed in these dark rooms, so doing these in the dark shouldn't be too much of an issue for him at all. Still needs the bow to finish off the dungeon, though.
Yep, so we'll probably see him get out of the dungeon as soon as he pick up whatever's in the next chest, as even with the key, he wouldn't be able to kill the red enemies near the end of the dungeon.
That's our Swamp Palace small key, so that's out of the picture.
Yep, now everything he really needs is the mirror and the hookshot to be able to complete that dungeon, which is not bad at all.
Looks like Andy is going to head over to a hype cave, or lack of hype cave in this case. See what he actually picks up, because I did not catch it the first time. Big Key at Desert Palace. That's actually not that bad to pick up. We know it's a Grand Pendant, and that's the baby shield. So Big Key to Desert is probably the only thing of real worth here. Depends if Desert Palace has something decent on the Green Pendant to see if that was required or not.
Yeah, I think it was more value than I expected the first time I saw it. Now that we know that desert is actually green pendant, of course.
It looks like Swamp and Misery Mire are going to be our 2 red crystals today.
So that means at least 1 medallion will be needed. And a flute.
Yeah, we've seen time and time again how those medallions can hold up so much progress, especially when it's a red crystal for sure. And it looks like Andy's heading up towards the Village of Outcasts while Pachu finishes off the escape area. And our other 2 runners are over in the Eastern Palace. So they're all pretty much checking the same location at this point. To answer your question in chat, yes, our green pendant today is Desert Palace. Thank you, Endar. We appreciate the knowledge.
It does look like Mage is having a bit of a hard time here, and with good reason. Without a reliable weapon, he can't really kill these enemies with anything really but bombs. And the pots that keep respawning, of course.
Mage is unfortunately taking a death to a tentacle bag. It looks like we had a Thieves Town pendant, someone in chat is saying, so that could be interesting. It looks like Andy's going to go over and check the magic bat now with the hammer and powder under his belt.
Not a bad time to check. Yeah, because without that mirror, it makes for traveling around the dark world and light world a bit slower. You need to do stuff in light world, and then once you're in the dark world, you're stuck there until you save and quit.
It looks like Apache wants to see what's in these 2 chests in Castle Tower.
Yeah, it's not a bad time to check. With 1 small key, that's enough to check both chests.
Yeah, Andy is looking at the bottle of energy as his allowance pretty much.
Gonna have to go to the back way to check to be able to access that portal, as this way around only has a big black block only able to be lifted with titans. X-Rock is about to enter the waterfall and get his power gloves and the powder.
You know, it's like Andy's gonna look around the Village of Outcasts now. Quite a few chests here. Andy possibly dip into Thieves Town as well. He does have the big key for Thieves Town, so he can get to the back part of it. And that's blue mail. That's a nice pickup.
Yeah, that's a really good thing since the scene has not been super healthy so far. So that's a nice backup, and if they get hit by accident every now and then.
To clarify in chat, yes, it is a 1v1 race at just 2 races going on simultaneously. So Andy is facing Magius and Pachu is facing X-Shock. They're just playing the same scene at the same time. And it does look like Andy is going to dip into a pendant Thieves Town.
Yeah, considering there's at least 4 chests right here in the beginning to check, it's a good dip, and he also does have 1 key and a big key, so you can probably do all of it if you wanted. Hey, that's a bow. That's a good gamble after all.
Absolutely, that unlocks the rest of our Eastern for him if he wants to go finish off Eastern as well. So pendant Thieves Sound looking up like it's definitely necessary.
Yep, Eastern is often in the dungeon you never skip going in it, even in open mode when it's a pendant. So why would you do anything differently inside of Keysanity?
And that's a map of swamp, so see if that swamp is going to be necessary for us or not. See if that small key is going to be required, even though we do have it.
I do like that the map offers more value in these Keysanity seeds. And by more value, I mean actual value by giving information.
Yeah, for sure. Even that little bit of information, like you said, is definitely nice. Just knowledge is definitely a plus in randomizer, and the more knowledge you have, the better.
Oh, that's another nice find. X-Rock just found the boots on Pyramid.
That's nice. We got a fast Moogle now.
That could give X-Rock an edge here to keep ahead of Pachu for a very long time if Pachu doesn't pick those up.
And Pachu's getting a small key on the bumper ledge, and it is a small key to Castle Tower. Probably not one you wanted to see. We got to hide those boots from Andy so we don't have any hovering shenanigans.
Fortunately, they're not very well hidden right on the pyramid there.
Yeah, this is true.
It's only a matter of time. And that small key for Dark Palace, where what you just found, that might be an incentive to go around there. I fully expect X-Rock to check all those places that the boots were locking, such as the Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb. Oh, King's Tomb he can't access yet, my bad, because no Titans and no mirror.
Yeah, we laugh at the hovering from by Andy, but it is incredibly difficult to do, so it's definitely fun to see when it does pay off.
I'm not salty about hovering. I'm just salty about not being able to hover myself. That's different.
Yeah, it's one of those tricks that's extremely difficult. And that's a red rail picked up by Andy, so he has both of the safety items in his belt. And he's going to be able to check the big chest here as well. And that's 2 small keys to Dark Palace. Looks like that Magius might be stuck in a dark room.
Pachu just got a small key for a Turtle Rock inside that big chest inside of Skull Woods. Meanwhile, we got Andy going for a hammer blind. Not an easy thing to do.
Thankfully, blind is a little bit on the scripted side. You do just need to have 9 hits overall, 3 per phase. So as long as you can dodge and you can get your hits in, it's not that bad of a fight, especially with a low hitbox weapon like the hammer. Makes quick work of it. Blind goes down. That's the first boss of the afternoon.
Yep, and gets rewarded with that red pendant. And, of course, the big 20 falling from the sky. Took 4 bonks for that key to come down. And it's a small key for Turtle Rock.
Andy's making the dip up into Skull Woods. Won't be able to finish it without that fire rod, but it's gonna take a look around and see what they find.
Yep, and of course, without the sword too, still wouldn't be able to access much else than that first chest in the beginning, even with the fire rod.
I believe that was the single arrow in that chest in Skull Woods. And just a heart container, so not too much worth there.
Yep, we could be looking here at maybe a dip into Palace of Darkness, or yeah, I think that dip into Palace of Darkness would probably be the play to make.
I had a map check there by Pacha. Did not catch what swamp was, unfortunately. Gotta play dodge the Wallmaster here to get by that chest. That's one of the more pain in the butt chests to get.
Yes, when you don't have the Cane of Samaria, it's one of those chests that just takes a lot of time and can't do nothing about everything that's going on in the room.
To answer your question in chat, you cannot get red before blue. The ends will go in progression, so it'll always be blue first, then red. Same with swords. You always go with your swords in order from fighter to master to tempered to golden.
Yep, it's also true with the shields.
So it looks like Mageius is making the skull play as well. Didn't find too much of worth in the skull, at least.
Yeah, there's been a few deaths here and there, people, but it's all fine because as you can see, they don't have a lot of hearts yet, and without a sword, there's not a lot of things you can do except bump into enemies when you're not careful enough.
Yeah, they have the hammer, but the hammer's such a small hitbox it can be a little difficult to time.
Yeah,
And that's
especially
the
with
lantern. That's a nice pickup.
Oh yeah, indeed. It's a first fire source to light up some lamps.
Yep, and no more dark rooms, which is the other nice benefit from it. Boots were on the pyramid ledge.
Yeah, so far it looks like pretty much everybody's doing all of the same things all after another. So I would probably say that right now is a good time to plug in the runners. Andy, Mages, Pachu, and X Rock. I believe you can follow them because they're just providing such a great show for us tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. All four of them definitely deserve the support. This is a very fun race to watch. And then, of course, special thanks to our behind-the-scenes crew of RRPS and It's a Demo for the fantastic job tracking. And, of course, Fiesel and the Speed Gaming family for putting on this race on.
Indeed. Major's trying to survive to the Gibdos there. These guys will not stop going towards you no matter what.
Yeah, those Gibdos can be quite brutal. Weak to fire, but that's about it.
I believe you can freeze them too with the ice rod.
Frozen mummy. Alright, so Andy's checking the dark chest and just a piece of heart, so not too much of worth there. So, to answer some questions in chat, this is a Swiss tournament, so this is our first round, so everyone is basically has the same odds of facing anyone. Going to next week, our 1-0s will be facing off against 1-0s, and our 0-1s will be facing off against 0-1s. And up until week 5, where 5-0s will be playing 5-0s, etc. So, as it progresses, you'll see people filter towards skill level for the most part. Going into the bracket stage, we're going to have 7 people finishing at 5-0, and then we'll have, I believe, a playoff race to get that final spot to go for the 8-person bracket round.
Yep, that sounds just about right. So we have 5 weeks of having about above 100 races per week. So that's a lot of actions you'll see around in these channels.
Yeah, so if you like Randomizer, these next 5 weeks are going to be a lot of fun. That's our hook shot up in what Andy just picked up there.
Hey, that's a nice find. I believe now that's pretty much a good indication that it's time to go up Death Mountain.
Yeah, and that was in, I believe, Castletown. So that Castle Tower play is going to most likely be mandatory at some point for everyone. That was in that dark room in the Castle Tower. Chad bringing up a good point, though. We're about 37 minutes in and we still have no sword.
Yep, it's not as bad though, but because of the hammer. If they had no hammer, I would say, oh.
And he's taking a look at the ledge to see if that's an indie or not. Sees it's the key, but can't really do much with it.
Pachu got through blind with some nice dodging skills.
Yeah, it looks like Mageius just picked up his lantern as well, so that's a nice pickup there.
Yep, leaves you a lot less vulnerable to those dark rooms, especially the later ones, like inside Mire or, of course, inside Castle Tower. It's really a pain to go through there without a lamp.
I'm not sure if Mageius has a sword. I didn't see a sword pick up yet. He just pick up his bow, though. He might have smacked it with his hammer.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a sword, because if so, he's the only one that has one. Nope. Here's the equipment screen and nothing there.
Yeah, just a key on the drop-down ledge there for Andy. It looks like Mageius and Axrock are going to be clearing out Thieves Town.
Yeah, if you have the means to complete a dungeon, sometimes, yeah, you better do it. Might save more time to do it than not doing it and have to come back later.
Yeah, and I think this is just to be a small, quick tournament to, I don't want to say kill time, but to fall in between this and the NMG tournament coming up in March.
Yeah, ended up a lot bigger as people were interested. More interested than we thought.
Yeah, it just goes to show you how popular Randomizer has become just in the last year alone. It's been a lot of fun to watch, and seeing a lot of people coming into the community is always a blast.
Yeah. having this such a big community nowadays, and it keeps growing, and more things keeps getting added to the randomizer. It's just awesome all around.
Yeah, looks like Andy's gonna be checking out the Paradox Cave now. Piece of heart and a big 20, so not much in that one. Let's see what's upstairs.
Yeah, come on, Paradox, don't disappoint.
We still need that ever elusive Ganon's Tower key. That could be anywhere. And at 40 minutes, Andy has just got our first sword of the seed. Other than that, Paradox Cave, not too much value.
Yep, but that sword, that's still a lot of value for now.
Oh, for sure, that sword is definitely nice to have.
Doesn't look like much since the hammer can do a lot more damage, but just being able to push a button and push an enemy out of your way is such a relief to have.
It does have a quite a bit bigger hitbox than the hammer too, so that's definitely a nice fallback.
Definitely.
And with the hammer, he can go check out a Hera now as well, getting around the mirror requirement.
Yep. Decides to skip the spiral cave for now. Probably gonna check it afterwards.
And that's a blue boomerang. Not too much of use there. That's nice to have for a couple small occasions, but overall, better items out there. It looks like Mageius is going to grab his boots momentarily here as well. And Andy's going for a coffee break. And he's just going to take the damage with the red mail.
Oh, he's setting up for a death warp.
Oh, good call. Yeah, for sure.
Understandable, because going out of tower basement without the mirrors takes a while. Might as well just save a few seconds by doing that. Meanwhile, we're gonna see Mageius here trying to go to Catfish, see whatever he has to give.
And it's just a small key to Tartar Rock in the basement, so not the best thing to waste that much time doing, but we might need it. Boots are on Pyramid Ledge. See if everyone's favorite giant worm will have anything of note for us today. And Catfish just having the big 50.
Which is actually
Almost Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying that's almost a good thing for X-Rock, as now he has upwards of 500 rupees.
Yeah, we still haven't had a check on Zora yet, so yeah, that could definitely come into play.
I mean, we keep... Oh, that's Ether. Nice.
Yep, that's our first medallion of the seed. We might need it, we might not, we don't know yet. Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Exactly. Especially since Ether and Bombos, they have a couple of uses here in the run. Because there is enemies that are weak to these medallions that instantly kill them. It's a bit of knowledge and things you need to know sometimes can save a few seconds here and there.
Very nice mold arm kill by Andy, finishing off mold arm relatively quickly. Gets the fire shield and a pendant.
Yeah, he really took control of that fight.
So that's his second pendant under his belt, and we know the green pendant is in a relatively easy dungeon, so we might be seeing a pedestal check at some point.
Yeah, I fully expect that if they have mirror by the time they do Skull Woods, that it's probably gonna they're probably gonna check just to have their minds cleared of whatever's on there.
Yeah, he does have the big key for desert too, and a fire source, so he can finish off desert whenever he chooses to. We don't have the book yet, so he can't actually get into desert yet. I stand corrected on that.
Yeah, desert. Still a bit locked for now, but everything inside should be good to go. Of course, when he does find those boots on the pyramid.
Yeah, without the mirror or the book, we can't get into desert quite yet. Or the flute to go from the dark world, anyway. So your choice of Turley Mirror is looking interesting at the moment, being 47 minutes in.
I know, right? It's like I predicted it or something.
I mean, we got my Swamp House key right away, so... Alright, so it looks like Andy is heading over to the Palace of Darkness / Pyramid area. So we'll see if he checks the pyramid to get his boots, which I'm sure he'll be happy to see for certain reasons.
Yeah, and Pachu is making his way into Armos inside Eastern.
Death Mask. This is a 1v1 race, just 2 races on one stream. So Andy is facing Mageius and Pachu is facing X-Rock. They're playing the same seed, but it is 2 separate races, but we're watching.
Yep, it's just twice the entertainment.
And Andy has obtained his boots. And I believe that was a crystal at Ice Palace.
Pachu gets rewarded with a crystal in Eastern.
Actually, now that we have all the pendants and the 5/6s, we can actually finish off everything. That we know that Turtle Rock will be a crystal as well.
Yep, yeah, that's right. So that ice rod will have more value.
And that means our fire rod is still at play as well, even though we do know we need it for Skull Woods.
Ooh, looks like we're finally going to see a first dip inside Palace of Darkness here for Pachu.
Yeah, I don't think... well, Andy's actually going over to the ledge section, so... I thought he was going to fall, but he's going to Keysanity down in the backside there. It does look like Major's about to get his crystal out of Eastern as well.
I think Andy decided to get that small key on top of Bumper Ledge. I was wondering why he skipped it early on when he checked.
Could have forgotten possibly that he had the cape, but I don't know. And yeah, you're right. It is a little interesting to see why you would come back. And it is a small key to Castle Tower, so probably not what you wanted to see.
Yeah, that second small key for Castle Tower and having the lamp gives pretty much the indication that Agaham may be required to get that small key in Lumberjack Cave. Still don't know for sure if that key is very useful, but it's always waiting on your mind when there's a key you know you can get, but it takes so long to get.
I don't believe we have found the flute yet. I don't see it lit up on anyone's screen. I know we haven't seen the swag duck yet, so flute is still at large.
Yep, the only real movement item we've found so far are the boots, which X-Rock found pretty early on.
There are a lot of chests in this Palace of Darkness, though, that our pouch is currently going through, so we might see some new stuff here. And it looks like Aiden's making his way up to the Scamfish. And that is the Titan's Mitts by Pachu. That's a nice pickup.
Yeah, those Titans will open up a few places to check on the overworld. Still no access to the Ice Palace though, missing that fire source to kill those ice enemies.
Yeah, and Scamfish is not too much there for us.
And if you think that this routing through the Palace of Darkness looks a bit weird, you're not wrong. With not a lot of keys, these guys will try to avoid as much doors as they can, just to save up on those small keys.
All in one mighty. Yes, there is a Randomizer mode. It's not in this tournament, but there is a mode that you can do that, correct?
Nothing but a big 20 inside the vanilla big chest inside of pod.
Yep. Other than Titan's Mitts, Pod's not having too much of value. I mean, Titan Mitts are huge, but probably hoping for more here with all the chests.
Indeed. So far, it looks like Bachu will have to circle around again as he's trying to avoid opening the door in the front. Because that door you can skip every time if you have the bow and the... Well, not, the bow and the hammer. So that's one less small key they need to go through pod. You can save another small key by not having to open the door to the dark room where the big chest lies by performing the hammer jump, but we'll see if everybody does it. I know pretty sure Andy's gonna do it. I mean, guy can hover. Might as well do a hammer jump too.
Alright, well, we'll see if we have any new items here. Not too much yet.
Oh, we get to see Spike Cave in a second here by Mages.
Spike Cave is one of those caves that people tend to put off on just because it can be a little bit of a pain to get to.
Oh, that was nice. The Cane of Samaria in there. That's a really nice find from Mages. Considering that Meyer will be required and so is Turtle Rock, that's two dungeons that is definitely useful in. It might also be useful in Ice Palace, depending on who does the bomb jump or not.
Yeah, for sure. Candace Meyer is definitely one of those items that can hold people up. So to get it relative, I don't want to say early in the seed, but probably about halfway through or so, it's definitely nice to have. It looks like X-Rock is closing in where they're going out to the dark part of the sewer to get their. I believe there's just a piece of heart down here. For a minute, I thought that was the dark maze for Castletown, but it's not. X-Rock trying to take a death, and the rat is not behaving. Galthor's, the first sword is in Paradox that we found anyway was in Paradox Cave. And now it looks like X-Rock is heading up towards where they'll find their hook shot momentarily. And Mageius is heading down into the prison escape part.
Now armed with a hammer this time, it's going to be much easier to go through.
Oh, for sure. These knights won't be any problem at all.
Now Andy finding a small key for Ganon's tower. That's a nice one.
Yeah, if you have the big key already, you can always rob the front to get into the back. So it's not huge, but it's definitely nice to have.
Saves a bit of time.
Of course, and saving time is always a vital thing to do for sure.
And there we go, hammer yum.
And that was the hook shot for X-Rock, so I'm sure they're happy to see that.
Of course, he does skip that big chest there for Andy, just because he doesn't have the big key yet. So that's one of the places we'll need to see later on. Oh, and that's
Big key to Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
And he might be heading over towards the hook shot cave area at this point.
Yep, and probably checking what's locking Turtle Rock too. See if that ether medallion can get any use. Mageius now finding his hook shot. He'll be happy to see that.
Yeah, Pachu grabbing their boots, so they can go fast now also. And there's your mirror. You have a small key to the desert, so that small key to the desert's not bad to have.
Mirror at 58 minutes in. It's pretty late, I would say. And that's Bombos that's locking Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that looks like a necessary medallion that we still haven't found that we're gonna need.
Of course, ether could still be found to be useful because we have not seen what is locking Meyer yet.
There could also be Quake.
That's true.
We can't give them that easy of a time.
So nothing much inside of Hookshot Cave, unfortunately.
And just a map on a floating island.
Looks like Andy is looking towards the Spike Cave with a hammer in hand. Get those pegs down.
Yep, and it'll be nice for him to get his KSMR, I'm sure. I'm sure I'll be happy to see that. Alright, and that is the cane for Andy. And may just now dip it into Tower of Hair to see what they find up here.
I think there was nothing much inside Tower of Hera, if I remember well. Only a boomerang.
I believe the Desert Palace key was here as well, but yeah, mostly nothing. And that Desert Palace key might be nice because it does unlock that green pendant for us.
So Andy here is making a play for Swamp Palace, which is a pretty great idea just because the number of items inside of Swamp and having everything needed to beat it. Might as well do it right now.
And Pachu is taking the old man on a tour of the world.
And finds bombos in the first chest. Great job, Andy.
Yep, probably happy to see that. One less item that he has to dig the pedestal for sure. Could still have fire rod on the pedestal though, and a flute.
Yep, Pedestal Dream is not dead yet.
Need the book though still to even get into the desert.
That would be mean, but I'm not known for my easy C's when I commentate.
Yeah, coming from the Z1 world, when I roll seeds or when I commentate on seeds, they tend to be packed with whiz robes. So I haven't tried my luck on rolling a seed for Z3 yet. And he's making very quick work of Swamp here. Probably gonna check out the left side just to make sure he has everything he needs.
Andy getting creative on how to hit that switch.
Yeah, playing soccer with the Samaria block. Gotta be careful you don't drown those keys.
Yeah, it's very easy to do when you do have the hook shot.
I do not believe Fire Rod can be on Laser Bridge. I believe the Fire Rod blocks that.
Well, normally yes, but I don't think so in Keysanity. Just because of how the key logic can put any key anywhere, really.
Pachu bring the purple chest back and not getting too much there. And that's a riot shield out of an hour a minute, just an hour in, so that's a nice pickup. Shields usually don't do too much in this game, but it's nice to have at least.
Yeah, every now and then you get to see Riot Shield as being a progression item for Laser Bridge, but as we all know, there's just an easy way to get through that bridge, and that's just to take the damage right in the face.
Yep, nothing like face tanking. And hoping you don't fall off afterwards.
Of course.
Now this Swamp Palace is one of our 5-6 crystals, so that's one of the big fairy items that we need. Second one of those are going to be over in Meyer, so we aren't quite close to getting both of them quite yet.
Yeah, Meyer still has a few items locking it.
Moldarm being Moldarm against X-Rock here. Doing what Moldarm does best.
And he just picks up the book and another small key for Skull Woods.
So if you're Andy, when do you make the play to go in the desert and finish off your pendant collection?
I'm not sure. I mean, that would be maybe a good idea, but probably just put it back until you find the flute, and just do Meyer and maybe desert afterwards if you need to.
There's always a chance the flute is that green crystal, green pendant item too, though.
It's a possibility, but just because it's better routing overall, it's maybe I think we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, for sure. He does have the Titan's bits, so he could dip into ice after doing Swamp, but since it's pretty much right next door.
Yep, that I can agree on. That'd be a good play.
Because he has Bombos to get into it, so we're at least not far in. And we'll see what Agina holds. Patch is going to go check out Agina.
Yep, that's the place you can look near the beginning of the game, as it doesn't have any requirements other than just a bomb. But it's so far off that they usually tend to put it off until it's either one of the last locations or when they get to desert.
Yeah, it was just a piece of heart, and Andy has just grabbed his first crystal of the match. Really nice Argus fight there.
Yep, that's true. I believe that X-Rock is making a play for Aghanim right now.
Might want to check out what that small key on that ledge is. If that's a needed key, that could be rather big for him.
Indeed.
Because we have no idea what that key could be at this point. Yeah, Pachu's making their spike cave check, so they'll be getting their Samaria also. And that is a silver arrow pickup by Andy. That's a nice find.
Yep, silver arrows will speed up a lot of boss fights, one-shotting them in most cases.
Always just have silver arrows before you do Vitreous for sure.
Oh yeah, Vitreous is an entirely different fight when you have silvers. And the bow, of course.
Oh yeah, well of course the bow, yes.
get to see an awesome item dash here with the hammer, getting those specs down very fast. Always fun to see.
And Mage is doing a really nice blind fight. I love doing blind with Samaria, just let blind hit himself.
Ooh, unfortunately, wasn't quick enough with that bottle.
Yeah, blind got him right before he hit the button to push it up.
Well, it's all good. Blind is quite easy to go back to, quite fast. Not a big time loss.
And Andy is taking the purple chest on a walk. We didn't see too much of value with it, but it's worth doing. And Pachu just getting their hook shot, so they're happy to see that, I'm sure. Andy is heading up towards the pedestal section. See if he actually gives us the full pedestal check. It looks like that's where he's headed. Do we have a pedestal seed?
Time to find out. Roll it. Drum roll, please.
So it was a small key that steals light. House of Darkness key.
Oh, that's a key that can be left there if you have proper routing inside Palace of Darkness.
It does make it a little bit easier to go through the palace having all the keys, but yeah, as you're right, as you said, if you don't need the keys, then he probably won't bother going back for that, because Andy is very well versed on jumps.
Yeah, there's a total of 6 small keys inside Palace of Darkness, and if you go around the dungeon and always skip the front door, well, you don't need that 6th key. And considering he has 5 already, that small key is gonna be left there. He also did the hammer up, which saves another key. So yeah, he's good on keys. Just need that big key now.
Just because Andy did get that, doesn't need it. Some of the other runners might, if they aren't comfortable with the bomb jumps that Andy is.
Of course.
Blinded Light, that was a small key to Palace of Darkness.
That's why Palace of Darkness is usually one of those dungeons where you really want to be careful where you use your keys, because it's very easy to just forget that you have another key that you'll need for later on, and you're blocked for a long while.
The question is now is where's this mysterious fire rod hanging out now?
Yep, the fire rod and the flute are pretty much the 2 items we really wanted to see right now.
And he's probably gonna turn in the purple chest and probably head over to ice, is my assumption on his next gamble.
Yeah, ice seems to be the best gamble at this moment, as we know already that Eastern has nothing of value really.
Yeah, it is a crystal, but that's about it.
Oh, and it looks like he'll check desert instead.
Jafang, to explain Keysanity, basically, it's basically a normal randomizer, except for all your big keys and small keys that were in treasure chests are going to be shuffled in the regular item pool. So your compass, your maps, and your keys are going to be shuffled around. Keys that were on enemies or behind pots are still going to be in their natural location. But any keys you would have gotten inside treasure chests are going to be shuffled. And that was a big key to Ice Palace, so not much there. Opens the big chest at least.
That's the second small key for Ganon's Tower, so now he has all the small keys he needs for Ganon's Tower. No need to go downstairs at all.
And that is a shovel on the bonk ledge.
Uh-oh.
That's a interesting item to find. Mageius grabbing their Titan Smiths. Happy to see that, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, Titans is always one of those items you need in every seed, so seeing them as soon as we see them, the better the seed.
Chat bringing up a good point that we have 4 runners in 4 very different parts of the world.
Yeah, that's right.
To answer the question, chat, this is 2 simultaneous races. Andy is facing Magius, and Pachu is facing Xrock. All 4 of them are playing the same seed, but it is 2 separate races.
Yep, makes for saves a bit of time and maybe a few restreamers on channels, and it's a bit more entertaining to watch too.
Yeah, there's a lot more action to see for sure. Being able to watch 4 different people run is a lot of fun. It can definitely be more hectic at the same time, but it is definitely gives it a different vibe. Jafang, to answer the question, the red dots on the dungeons are where our 5 and 6 crystals are, or our green pendant. So if you see a pendant with a red dot, that is our green pendant. If you see a red crystal with a crystal, that is our 5 and 6 crystal.
Yep, and Andy just got a map that wasn't very useful, and the green pendant for his troubles beating land mode.
Just getting all the way to the big key door of Palace of Darkness, and unfortunately realizing that they haven't picked that up yet. So they're gonna come back here later.
It's a bit of a misplay, but it happens a lot in Keysanity. Sometimes you think you got something, but you don't. Keeping track of all those seeds can be hard.
Yeah, for sure. Just another thing to keep in your back of your mind of exactly what keys you found can definitely be a little challenging. Yeah, and Andy is making that dip into Ice Palace that we were talking about.
Yep, we'll make great use of that Bombos. Does great with that half magic there.
And as we were talking about having 4 rushes going at once and how this can be a little bit chaotic, I do want to give again, just a special shout out to our 2 trackers behind the scenes for doing a really, really nice job for us today. We have Araya PS and It's a Demo for our tracking for us today. So please give them a follow. They both definitely deserve it for their hard work behind the scenes for us. We appreciate you both.
Indeed. Half the things we know they got in chess is because of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we give a couple shout outs, please follow all 4 of these runners too, because they are putting on a very, very good race.
Ah, yes. This has been very fun so far, and the race is still going. There's plenty of stuff they haven't found yet, such as a couple of big keys, such as the big key for Ganon's Tower, which is very important last time I saw.
Yeah, that big key to Ganon's Tower, it could be hiding pretty much anywhere. And we do know that we're going to need that because that is slightly important.
It'd be fun if it was in Ganon's Tower. No, I don't get to make too good or bad uh, predictions like those. Look at that, Andy's just showing off some hovering here. Nice. Just to fall down just after.
He just went
Okay.
hover from the other direction.
Andy, why? Just showing off a bit.
So that is what Andy is known for, fun hovering that he can do.
That's why it's always a pleasure to watch him run. He's one of the only runners that actually does the hovering, so it's always a pleasure.
It is very, very difficult to do. It takes some very, very precise input timing. I don't know the exact mechanics of it. I do see Willard in chat. I don't know if Willard wants to explain that for us, but it is very, very difficult to do.
Oh, that's right, Itsu. I did see TGH recently hover. So there's a few more people that are starting to learn to hover. They're getting pretty good at it. But so we can see maybe in a year from here we'll actually see a lot more people hovering all over the place. It's gonna be wild.
Yeah, as more people get akin to it, it's something that just takes practice, just like anything else in Randomizer. The more you practice it, the better you are at it.
And to be fair, I'm not sure Turbo would also work chat, as the timing for it is pretty slow for a turbo controller, but
Yeah,
pretty
it's just
fast
very,
for a
very
regular.
precise.
Exactly.
And there is our fire rod hanging out in Ice Palace.
You could see Andy there just going, okay, what side do I go now?
I mean, he still really needs to clear stuff out because he still needs that big key to Ganon's Palace. So, still got quite a few things to find, and we still might need Quake as well. And he finds a key to Ice Palace in Ice Palace.
Not bad at all. He'll be able to check that one chest nobody likes to check.
Yeah, that chest that's way out of the way up in the slime cave. Yeah, just a 5 spot there. It looks like Mageius is now dipping into Swamp as well. Gets his Bombos, and I don't think there's too much else in Swamp of note. We are an hour and a half in though, and we still only have our level 1 sword, so we still need at least a Master Sword to hit Ganon. Will this be one of those seeds where the next 3 swords are all going to be in Ganon's tower?
Hey, it's been a while since I've seen that, but it's quite rare that we do see that.
And Andy gets his little cold stare, and Pachu is now going through a swamp as well. Cold Steel goes down relatively quickly with the Fire Rod.
Oh yes, he burns the pus away really fast.
And that is Andy's second crystal. It feels like he's got more, but he did clear all 3 pendant dungeons. See when Andy will turn in that green pendant.
Considering what's open to him, I'm not sure. Maybe he'll go for Rock first, just because Past Darkness, he doesn't have the big key, so he knows that only the last item of Eastern could be something useful.
Looks like he's probably going to go clear out Skullwoods first and then head over there. You got your Fire Rod and you can full clear the dungeon, so you may as well get Skullwoods out of the way now.
Yep, being lucky, maybe he'll find his big key at the latter part of Skullwoods. The big key for Past Darkness, of course.
They're just gonna burn down the entrance to finish Skullwoods off. Not too much longer. Then we'll just get the worm, and we'll be good to go here. The moth, I should say, not the worm. And we possibly do need Quake too. We don't know exactly what Meyer is going to be at this point. We do know that our answer is not on the pedestal.
It's true that Andy only has a fighter sword to fight Moth, but he also has half magic with Fire Rod, so it's not that bad.
You can always hammer the moth as well, so. The thing with Martha, though, is you kind of have to be a little bit careful, because if you bop him into the spikes, he's not going to take any damage.
Yeah, hammering Moth is one of the things that I do not understand, but grats on whoever gets it.
Yeah, the hammer has a very small hitbox.
And Machula has a very fleeting hitbox.
Andy makes quick work of the moth regardless, and it looks like Pachu's heading down towards to say hello to Argus himself. But we do have a couple questions still. We still need that key to Palace of Darkness so we can finish that, as you said. We do have the keys to finish off Turtle Rock, so we can go up there now if Andy chooses to. Probably gonna clear out Eastern first, though.
Did we ever get to see what was the lumberjack small key?
I know X-Rock killed Aghanim, but I don't think that he checked what that ledge had. It was a small key. Looking at what we have left to clear, it's probably not necessary.
Yeah, small key for Turtle Rock, as chat is saying, which could be useful depending on how they decide to go through the dungeon. Depends if they want to check that small chest where the vanilla big key usually is.
Argus is such a pain using hookshot and hammer, just having to go back and forth between the menu and the hookshot.
Yeah, it's a slow way, but a easy way to go through the fight.
Yeah, just one hammer smack as opposed to a couple sword slashes. Very quick work of Armos Knights with the silver arrows.
Indeed, only one arrow per night. Goes pretty fast.
Mageius is using the spin slash technique on Argus instead of doing the item management. Can't blame him for that, though.
And Andy just turned in his green pendant for a small piece of heart, so not very rewarding.
Yeah, probably a little bit disappointing. Equipping a shovel, though, so he's probably going to dig up the dig spot. See what our dig item is.
Yeah, probably wants to try to get out at maybe a few more locations on the overworld before trying to go up Turtle Rock.
And just 10 arrows under the dig spot, so nothing of value there either. And Magis is now making the play into ice. It looks like that had a big key on it.
Yep, it said hammer jump with this big key, so I think that's the big key of Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, that looks like to be the case. So we will need our Master Sword to get that.
So at this point, I'm pretty sure we're going to see a sword upgrade inside Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I think you're most likely right, unless it's in Mire, and then they get
Yep.
Flute and Turtle Rock to get into Mire.
Good thing. I hope there's a sword inside Turtle Rock, because going through Trinex with the fighter sword is disgusting.
Yeah, Trinix is quite a pain just on fighter sword for sure.
Like, it's so bad that you'll probably see Andy just come out with the hammer instead.
That's a Compass Dark Palace. We don't really care about that one. X-Rock turning in their purple chest to see what they get here. I don't remember what it was. It was just a map. Map of Skullwoods, so nothing of note there. And that was a Master Sword get by Andy and Turtle Rock, so definitely nice to have.
Yep, just saved him a lot of trouble. Because Master Sword Trinex is already pretty long. Fighter Sword is just too long.
It's just not just that. He's already up on Death Mountain too, so it's just a quick walk over to pick up that tablet now instead of having to go all the way down and all the way back up again.
And here's the chest with the big key to Meyer in it. So yeah, we're pretty much good to go on most of the items. The only thing we need now is the flute.
And you would probably assume that Flute would be here unless it's on Helmut Arcade.
Ah, and you know, that pesky Ganon's Tower big key.
Yeah, we're kind of missing that too.
It's one of those where you kind of don't remember until you remember you don't have it.
Well, that is still possible to be in Ganon's Tower still, though.
That's true.
Yeah, and Apache's grabbing their green pendant. X-Rock is heading through Swamp, not going to find too much of value here. Yeah, Mageius is working through Ice Palace, so again, they're all in four different, very different parts of the world. See what our Mimic Cave holds for us.
Come on, Mimic, pay off today. How about a nice tempered right here?
I'm going to call it Big 20. Piece of heart. A heart container.
At this point, about as useful as a big 20.
Yeah, pretty much. Red tunic and that many hearts under your belt. Not what you want to see. And a compass in the big chest. So now we see Andy going through this part of Turtle Rock. This is probably one of the least favorite parts in the game. It's like a auto scroller from like Mario. You just gotta sit and wait, and waiting is so painful.
Yep, but you still need to be pretty fast going into the room or you'll just hit every fire bar.
Mirror Shield makes this quite a bit easier.
Here's a nice blue potion and a bee.
Yeah, 2 bottles on Laser Birds, that's interesting. No flute, though. And no, where's our flute hiding?
Oh no, I think Andy is key locked.
Maybe that means he has to go to Aghanim Tower to get that key.
Yup. At least he'll be able to get the big key on the ether tablet right now. He did remember about it, which is good.
Yeah, so he'll be able to go clear out Palace of Darkness. And then possibly head back to finish off Aghanim 1 so he can finish off Tartarak.
Magus not having the fire rod needs right now to fight Cold Stare with only the fire sword, which will take a while to go through. Not an easy fight, despite
Yeah,
having
for sure.
the red mail.
Cape strats make it a little bit easier, but you have to keep an eye on your magic. Yeah, it does look like Andy's making that play to finish off Palace of Darkness, which you can't blame him. Yeah, Meyer is our second 5/6 crystal first, so that's still gonna be locked for a bit. So we know our flute's not at the pyramid. Aga 1 does hold a TR key, yes.
And he opens the front door knowing that he has all the key he needs. Just wants to open the big chest here and go fight King Helmasaur.
Fire Rod was an ice cave, yes. I did not see Magus pick it up, but it was right on the path, so I'm assuming he did.
He did not pick up Fire Rod yet. And he got through that fight with Cold Stare with only a fighter sword. That was, I gotta say, that was impressive to watch. Clutch kill on half a heart left.
Yeah, it does look like Andy picked up Quake somewhere along the way. I'm assuming he picked that up in Tartarak.
He did pick up just now inside the big chest of
Okay.
Darkness. Now he has all the medallions, so Misery Meyer will have no troubles getting in.
Magus thankfully going back into Ice Palace to grab the rod.
Yeah, it's always a gamble to skip a chest when you still need to find a few more items in the seed. It's and even worse inside of Keysanity, where there's so many keys and big keys all over the place that skipping is just not an option most of the time.
Yeah, unlike normal and standard, you kind of have to open everything. You can't do that like left side gamble for Swamp, for example. because what you need is most likely inside swamp. It most likely will be on that left-hand side, so every chest has value to it, not just your normal ones.
That's why you can also not do the regular item count you usually do, for example, in standard or open mode, and go like, oh, well, the chests that are still in the dungeon are my map and compass. That's not the case in Keysanity. You open all of them, you never know.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess that's one of the good parts about having the compass. It does let you know how many chests. Oh, there's our flute by Helmstar King. It lets you know how many items you've cleared out. Like you see on Andy's screen, it's 14 out of 14. So he knows that Dark House of Darkness is fully complete for him. So I believe that puts Andy in go mode.
Not yet. He still needs that big key for Ganon's Tower.
Ah, yes, that is true.
But at this point, there's not a lot of locations left for it to be. It's only a matter of time.
And yes, he does need to get one more small key for Rock. So he is. I did recall that just a bit. He's in item go mode anyway.
Yeah.
Alright, so Andy's making the dip into Swamp and Mire now. Got the shed of the Checkboard Cave and Mire itself, most likely. And extra grabbing their shovel, so they'll possibly go dig up some items. I believe it was just money that they were going to dig up. Actually, no, it was arrows, sorry.
And he's skipping the bug net here. Makes me sad a bit.
Yeah, no time for swag strats, you gotta win. Mega Boris, the Lumberjack Cave, was a key to Turtle Rock. It looks like Pachu is going to go finish off Skull Woods now. And that's where Mageius is as well. So Andy's definitely looking for that Ganon's Tower big key. Probably wants to find a tempered sword along the way as well.
And that was a nice strat from Andy, just clearing out that room. You must be counting the keys too, because at this point you've done most of the dungeons, you have most of the keys. He's got to be saying to himself, well, I know there's 2 more keys for Turtle Rock. There's one he doesn't know what key it is that is in Lumberjack Cave, and there's another one somewhere else. So
Funny thing to note, Mageius did the exact same thing that Andy did. He checked the pedestal, then double checked it to make sure he knew exactly what it was.
yeah, these decks, we haven't seen all of them a lot of times. Keysanity is still a bit new for most of these people.
Yeah, as a whole, I believe Keysanity is only, I think, 2 months old, so it's still as you said, relatively new. X-Rock making very quick work of their that Mola fight. No problem at all there. Andy doing the waiting game in Meyer to let that floor move a little bit.
And we'll see Moth here being a bit rude to Magius by just camping the top ledge.
Yeah, as we said earlier, you can't damage the Moth if you bump him into that row of spikes. He just won't take damage. So you gotta kind of time your shots on the Moth. And that's a big key, but not the one that we wanted. Just the key for Swamp. And Midges has defeated the Moth, offset there.
Clutching it out once again.
And Pachu finishing off the Moth as well, so Pachu's finished with the Moth.
Oh, that's right. That could be a possibility. Ganon's Tower big key inside a big chest of Swamp.
Oh, that would be a mean game.
That would be mean.
And I believe we have a Tempered Sword pickup by Andy.
Indeed. We did
Yes,
miss
we
it.
do. So now he has Tempered Sword and Silver, so Ganon should go down relatively quick.
In the meanwhile, X-Rock just picked up his Cane of Samara.
Yeah, it's definitely a smart play for X-Rock to pick that up. That cave is a little out of the way.
And with that cane pickup, it should give him pretty much the indication that Ice Palace should be in his next dungeons to do. Because with the big key and one small key, that's all you need to do the dungeon, even without the bomb jump.
Andy not finding the small key to turn a rock either that he was looking for. Probably hoping that Vitreous here has it. And Vitreous is just having some cash today.
Did we ever get a check on Zora?
Yes, it was 50 rupees.
Ah, right.
And Turtle Rock is a crystal. It's not a pendant. Turtle Rock is indeed a crystal.
X-Rock just picking up his small key for Palace of Darkness, which, if he didn't know the hammer jump, which was required.
Chat bringing up a good point that Andy can now check the Pyramid Fairy to see what she holds for him.
Yeah, that's probably where he's going right now, I believe.
Yeah, absolutely. And then probably gonna bite the bullet and climb Aghanim's tower to get that key that he's missing. I think chat was saying there's one more in the library that Andy did not get since having the boost. He hasn't gone back to the library yet.
Yeah, I may have forgotten about it. It's pretty early on that we saw it there. But at this point, I think he's pretty much very close to going in Aga Tower after the check from the Pyramid Fairy. All of the cash. What is this seed? More than 2,000 amassed rupees on Andy. That's not something you see every day. Now Magus picks up his silvers. That's a good find for him.
And using a nice little mirror trick to get into Aghanim's tower to face off against Aghanim. Just a little bit of a quick hop up. With the tempered sword, this Aghanim's tower is going to be quite a little bit faster.
That's a great idea. Bribe Gan and just buy back here peace.
Here, Gan, have some slop. Yeah, pigs like slop. May just giving the guys launching a map in return. Not too happy with that one.
I've got to say, this is one of the latest AGA I've ever seen.
Oh, for sure.
Nearly 2 hours in, then we were seeing an AGA play. That's where you know that he's really desperate for that key.
And the thing is, he doesn't even know what key he's going after. For all he knows, that's the key to Desert Palace. He has no idea what that key could be.
Well, considering the number of keys he's gotten all over the place, it's one of the last keys that could be it.
Yeah, this is true.
I mean, at the time that X-Rock did it, it was pretty much a gamble. But at this time, Andy has pretty much scoured the entire world. So
yeah, the other key was hiding in the library, which, as you said, it's possible that, given how early we checked it, might not have been marked down as a possibility. Because the boot's didn't come until about halfway through the seed, give or take.
yeah, that's right. X-Rock found them pretty much early on by going to Pyramid as soon as he had a dark world access. But Andy took his sweet time by going into different dungeons instead.
Thankfully, this will give Andy the key he needs. It's not a wasted time here. Aghanim 1 can always be a pain, but at least he's going to get his value off it.
Here we're about to see Pachu going to Trinex. Pachu does have the small key necessary to open the door, so we will see a fight in just a few seconds here.
Yep, Pachu did get that one that was hiding on the library shelf. Covert Bro, Gan's Tower will be locked until Turtle Rock is complete, unfortunately. and he is going. He is going that library chest key. So
I know he'll be disappointed.
and drop some bombs in frustration.
Just realizing he did waste a few minutes going to Aga. Well, it happens.
See if Andy goes and checks the lumberjacks to see what he did work for. Probably gonna head up that way anyway, just to see what he spent the time again trying to get. I expect some more bomb drops here as well.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good idea for him to get that small key because you never know if the Ganon's Tower big key could be in that chest he missed in Turtle Rock. That'd be the worst. So at least now he has all the keys he'll ever need.
Yeah, probably definitely happy to see that. I can definitely understand the aggressive bombing of the one in the library though, considering how early he saw it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Caused him to search a lot of places he wouldn't have need to.
Pacho, on the other hand, just did a really nice clean fight of Tarnex, and that is a bacon sword for Apache. So when Andy kills Tarnex, that's gonna be a golden sword for him.
Indeed, and that will be at least a nice reward for getting off that kill.
It's not that big of a jump between Bacon Sword and Golden Sword as much as between Master Sword and Bacon Sword.
That's true. It just makes a couple of fights here just take a mere seconds faster, especially the Ganon fight. Yeah, indeed. Sometimes Keysanity does feel a bit like 100% because sometimes you get thrown about everywhere and just need to open all the chests to get that one thing you're still looking for. But you still do find a couple of seeds now and there that are only an hour and a half long. So it's just varied in between.
And Pouch is pretty much right at Andy's heels as far as where to look. Just gotta clear out the rest of Palace of Darkness, and that won't take too long, and then jump into Meyer.
Yep. Pachu's doing a very great job to routing everything around. Not to say that the other runners aren't doing good too, because this seed was absolutely horrible.
Yeah, this seed was definitely slightly on the trollier end for sure. We had a relatively late mirror, we had a very late flute. And Ganon's Tower Key is still at large somewhere. And just a big 20 in the pipe room.
Not exactly what he was looking for, but at least it's something. Nah, I'm just kidding. That was really bad.
Yeah, I think Andy kind of proved that with the slashing at the pipe. So that means our Ganon's Tower Key is most likely somewhere in Ganon's Tower today.
Yep. So, yeah, Ganon's Tower with a big key. Didn't I say that too early? Man, I'm on fire today.
I can't think of anywhere else it would be. I know Andy's pretty much cleared out every other place he could possibly check.
Well, I don't mean to be mean, but he still doesn't have the mushroom.
That is true, but the mushroom could also be in Ganon's Tower, though.
Yep, mushroom in Ganon's Tower, and the mushroom being the GT key would probably be the worst thing ever.
Yeah, I gotta go to Ganon's Tower to get the mushroom to go back to the witch to get the big key. That would be brutal.
And I'm not saying the mushroom is a big key. No, that's enough. The seed has been long enough already. Just make the big key on the torch in Ganon's Tower or something.
You know, if we have the commentator's curse here,
Shh. It's all good. We're done with this seed already.
we'll find out in probably about 10, 15 minutes or so.
And he's starting to show his eagerness to finish the seed by falling through the pit before the platform arrives.
Chad bring up a good point that we do have the Swamp Palace big key at large too. So the Swamp Palace big key is after the mushroom, and the mushroom is in. No, I'll stop now.
Oh, that's right. The big key chest could still be a thing.
Mushroom the swamp to Ganon's Tower key.
I believe he did pick up the big key for Swamp Palace. I'm not sure. Somebody did. And here he gets his golden sword and his last crystal required to enter Ganon's Tower. 2 hours and 6 minutes in nearly 7 minutes, and 7 crystals. That's a pretty long seed so far, and it's not even over.
Alright, so 2 hours, 27 minutes, and about 22 seconds. Andy is making the play into Ganon's Tower. We still need that big tower, Ganon's Tower big key. So, still got a ways to go, possibly. Normally, this would be in open water standard mode. This would be the time that we play everyone's game of what chest will have the big key. It looks like Turtle Rock actually had 2 swords for us today.
Yeah, that's right.
Alright, so that's number 3. Nothing yet. That's the Cane of Brian, not what we're looking for.
Andy going for that completionist rating at this point.
Yeah, and Pachu is right on Andy's heels, just finished up in Palace of Darkness. Also about to make the play in the Ganon's Tower. Yeah, looks like X-Shock is going to go finish off their version of Skull Woods at this point. So all 4 of these runners have definitely put on a very nice race for us today, guys. So please give all 4 of them a follow. They definitely deserve the support.
Oh, definitely. They need support after a seed like this. But without kidding, though, they did give us a very good show so far. Playing straight for 2 hours and 9 minutes it was a very difficult seed to route properly.
And there's our mushroom. Getting that mushroom before the big key is a little unsettling. Probably not what Annie wanted to see first.
Oh yeah, you definitely don't want to see that mushroom. It's just a reminder that it still exists as a location.
I do believe Misery Mile was fully cleared, yes, because we are looking for a couple items. Or we were at the time, anyway. Yeah, he's gonna drop down to do the ice armor and get those 4 chests. And he did finish the castle tower, yes. Nice quick kill of ice armors. There.
Almost
There we go.
vanilla. Wow. Almost vanilla big key in Ganon's tower. What a trolley seed.
And now it looked like to be chest 15, given by the compass locator. So whoever gets 15, congratulations. That was a very interesting place to play the big key for sure. And as chat is pointing out, now we can officially declare Andy now in go mode.
Yeah, that's right. Almost forgot about that. That was quite the adventure for just a big key. That's when you know you're in Keysanity, because normally you don't get all that worked up for only a big key in Ganon's tower.
Chat clarifying that was indeed 16 because of the torch. Yes, chat, you are correct. It was chest 16. And again, I do want to reiterate, Andy is facing against Magius and Pachu is facing against Xrock. So it is not a one-person wins type of race. It is 2 separate races that we're watching simultaneously.
Yes, and this is Keysanity, where all the keys and big keys are shuffled around in the world in treasure chests. So you need to find them, put them back in the right dungeon to open the right doors, find the right treasures. It's a bit more puzzling than your standard or open mode. It requires a bit more routing process behind it to get the seed done in a fast way. But even then, as you can see right now, 2 hours and 13 minutes in, it's still not over because this seed was particularly mean in its key placement.
Oh, for sure. Just look at the Gannon key just being very close to vanilla. That's one of the lovely things about Rando. You never know what you're going to get. Pachu making quick work of Misery Mire here. And Xrock is making their first dip in 2-turn rock. 3 keys, so they'll be able to go all the way up to Trinix if they choose to.
There we go, Andy just skipping Moldorm, not dealing with whatever pattern he wants to give today.
Yeah, just say no, I don't need to deal with you. I'll come back to you later.
I mean, I understand. He already gave enough. This seed just gave enough. He had enough.
Yeah, and he just wants to say no and goodbye.
And to those who did spot it, he just showed up what's that? That pineapple? That was weird.
He used his powder on one of the enemies to change it so you have to deal with it. Pachu getting their golden sword. Probably happy to see that. And down goes Agnum too. Andy's just have to face the big pig at this point.
Yep, and with the red mail, the golden sword, and silvers, this is going to be a breeze.
See what facts of life Ganon has for us today. Just lamenting about his fallen friend.
For once, he does have a good reason to talk about, and it's rare that you see Aghanim get beaten twice in a seed.
Yes, this is true.
And he's showing
Very
off.
clean Ganon fight.
Yeah, showing off the dashing strikes. Pretty cool.
Just go careful you don't fall. That's going to be just 4 quick silver arrow shots. That's that for a nice double here. And Ganon goes down.
That was a very cool, very fast Ganon fight. GG on Andy.
Yeah, that was a textbook Ganon fight for sure. And the door opens, and he goes through it. Takes first place in his race against Magius with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 17 minutes, and 29 seconds. Let's get some cheese in chat for Andy, please. So Andy will now go to the 1-0 section of the Switch, and Magius will go to the 0-1. On the other hand, Pachu is still facing against X-Rock, so their race is not finished yet, chat. So please stay tuned to see who gets first place in their race. See if Andy wants to pop up and chat with us. Andy will be joining us momentarily to just have a quick word with us. And Apache is going to be heading towards Ganon's Tower momentarily as well. Apache checking out the Big Bong first. Apache's looking for the Ganon's Tower Big Key, of course.
Yep, there's still a chance they could be outside, as you would think. Being a vanilla, almost vanilla GT is not what you expect.
I think that's even trollier than it being out in the light world, just because you don't want to see it there, and then it turns out to be there. You're like, wow.
Yep, these guys ended up doing all the dungeons after all.
And now we do have Andy with us in the booth. GG, Andy, well played.
GG.
So talk us through the seed. It was a little bit on the trolley end for sure.
Yeah, it could have been worse, I suppose, but me forgetting library key was pretty bad. That would have probably saved me like 15 minutes.
Yeah, that turtle rock.
Go ahead.
I was about to say that Turok small key did put you a bit behind.
But that's okay. My warm-up seed before this was worse, so it's okay.
And then
Yes.
having the Gans Tower key, pretty much vanilla, was probably in the back of your head too.
Yeah, I was worried about Swamp Big Chest or Mushroom once I got Mushroom, but it's okay.
Did you pick up the Swamp Big Key at some point? We weren't positive.
I got it in Mire.
Okay, so we were thinking that Mushroom would lead to the Swamp Big Key to lead to the key, but we weren't positive you had the Swamp Key. We thought you had it, but we weren't sure.
Yeah, overall it was a pretty mean scene, I would say, just with late first sword and then stuck on fighter sword for the longest of times until Turtle Rock.
Yeah, it was pretty rough, but that's okay. I'm used to fighting things without a sword, I guess. So it's okay.
It's true. That's where the practice of playing maybe swordless comes in a bit.
It was also nice seeing two text boxes that I'd never seen before at the pedestal and at Ether.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
saw you double checking that. We weren't positive if you just didn't catch it the first time or if it was a little on the confusing side. It took us a minute to realize that was the Dark Palace key.
Yeah, I read it and then started to walk away. I'm like, wait, what did that say? And so I went back and read it, and then I spent like a minute trying to figure out what it was.
I believe it was Magius that did the same thing. He read it one time and started walking away, and he was like, wait, I gotta go back and read that one more time just to make sure.
It's always
yeah, pretty standard Keysanity seed IMO.
Well, if that's standard, we're going to see a lot more of great seeds in this tournament. That's going to be sure. So, other than just a small key that did a bit of work on you, I think your routing overall was pretty much good. This seed did give you a chance to explore almost all of the dungeons.
Yeah, it was. I think my routing was pretty good in terms of the way I cleared everything. But double dipping in Turtle Rock, I was really afraid that Flute was going to be in Turtle Rock big key chest.
Yeah, we were wondering that too, just because it's always a small gamble to skip that chest and use the key to progress further inside Turtle Rock. Fortunately, it wasn't.
Yeah, I think halfway up Aga Tower, I was like, did I ever get that library key? And then I was like, too late, I'm just going to finish it. And then they were both Turtle Rock keys, so...
Yeah, might as well. You didn't have the Gannis Tower big key too, so that was also a point of concern.
Yep.
So I'll say it again. GG Andy, that was nice. Nice seat to commentate for sure.
GG.
Yeah, absolutely. I wish you the best looking forward. It'll definitely be interesting to see the next couple weeks of this tournament.
Thanks.
As we're seeing right now, Pachu is making his way in the tower, trying to find his big key inside of one of the chests. As we know, it's chest 16, I believe we said.
Yeah, so it's chest number 16 down at the Ice Arm Monster, pretty much right next to Vanilla.
Yeah.
And X-Rock is now getting their Palace of Darkness big key to finish that off to get the Flute to go to the Mire. And Magius not too far behind.
Indeed, as we said earlier, Keysanity is a place where you never know if the seed is going to take maybe an hour and a half or upwards of 2 hours and more. It really depends on the key placement and the item placement, and of course, your routing through all of this. And today was not an easy seed, but it's not always like that. Just yesterday, we had a seed where somebody finished in an hour and a half, so it you get all flavors inside this tournament, and I think that's good for entertainment value.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun thing to watch for sure.
Actually, having a bit of problem with that last size armor, so it can be a bit trolly to try and hit. It's always the wrong distance from you, but eventually gets it. And now, big key.
Yeah, Pachu gets exactly what they need. They're gonna just do the quick climb up against Howard and deal with Aghanim too. May just gonna make very quick work of this Misery Mire now that they don't really have much left here to do.
Indeed. Seems like Mages did skip a few things, a lot more things than most, and that's good since he did need to catch up. Probably felt like he did, huh?
Yeah, being 2.5 hours in, probably feel a little bit behind for sure.
And needs to mirror out as he was getting low on hearts here. That spike room is not a fun room to be in when you're this low on hearts.
Alright, X-Rock is going into their Helmet Star fight now. Magus is still digging through Misery Mire, getting a few more chests, then just a quick fight with Vitreous. Being at the 2.5 mark, and I do want to say, again, please give our two wonderful trackers a follow for us. They did a wonderful job behind the scenes. Into Demo and Area PS, thank you very much for your hard work behind the scenes today. We really appreciate you both.
Indeed. This seed pretty much offered us everything in terms of keys, items to try and track. So they've worked very hard on these 4 guys.
And of course, please follow all 4 of the runners. They definitely deserve the support.
X-Rock finally finding his bird friend to get around the world. He's gonna be able to go into a mire and then throw a rock quickly after.
Yeah, Pachu is just going off on their date with the big pig now. Shouldn't be too much longer before they finish off the seed as well. And Pachu is now on their again fight, already on the phase 4, so definitely not too much before Pachu's gonna finish up here as long as he doesn't take a fall. And X-Rock is deciding to take out the swag net.
Good on him. That's maybe a great way to just create a bit more of entertainment on the next Aghanim fight.
Mageius hookshotting over to that 50 rubies. That's a different strategy you don't see every day. And with that, Pachu has finished off the big pig.
GG. Gets first place in their race with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 33 minutes, and 35 seconds.
Yeah, so let's get a bunch of G's in chat for Pachu. They also go to the 1-0 round next week. X-Rock and Mageius do still have 4 more games to play, so they are far from eliminated. Andy and Pachu go to the 1-0 bracket in the Swiss standings anyway. Gonna see if Takeru wants to have sorry, Pachu wants to have a quick interview with us. Give us one moment. Meiji is finishing up with their Misery Mire play, so they just have to go up Turtle Rock now.
Yep, only 2 keys though. That's not quite enough, I think.
No, they still have to either go to the library or up to Aghanim 1.
Yep.
Okay, Pachu will be joining us momentarily.
So that's where the swamp big key was. Right in the chest, right here. Hello there, Pachu. How did this race go?
Oh my god, that hook shot. That's all I can say about that hook shot location.
Yeah, that was a little on the trollier side.
Oh, I was sure when I found it that I was just done. I almost got forfeit because I was trying to set up a death warp earlier and I screwed it up. And I was like, there's probably nothing in that second Haga chest.
Yes, this seed definitely challenged pretty much everybody participating into quite an ugly seed to go through.
Yeah.
And then you had the Gannon's Tower key, basically vanilla, which was a little odd for Keysanity.
Mm.
No, definitely it played a lot around with people's nerves and just trying to get the small keys even for Turtle Rock and Gannon's Tower. The big key was, yeah, this seed was all over the place.
That GT big key location was just, oh, why? Just the entire time looking for it in the tower itself and just like, please be here, just please be here. Don't give me the mushroom, don't make me go out and go fly to the witch's hut. I don't want to do it, just give me the key, let me go.
Yeah, it was over by then. It had to be. There was so many places that this seed sent you, basically into every dungeon, I believe.
Yeah, there was something required everywhere.
Well, at least the pedestal was not technically required.
No, but I figured, you know what, I only have desert left for pendants to get. I might as well just blind pull it, give the crowd something to cheer for.
Indeed, it was pretty majestic.
It's always fun to see pedestal pulls, even if it's not necessarily needed.
Yeah.
So you are now 1-0, so I wish you the best of luck going into next week. It's definitely going to be a lot of fun to watch your races.
Thank you very much.
Yes, best of luck on your the rest of the tournament. And we do hope that not all of the seeds will be this way.
Yeah, I really don't want another one of these for a while. Just a nice, easy one next week, please.
A nice fast one, a 1 hour 30 minutes one. That would be great.
Oh yeah. How did Andy end up doing? I saw his time. What got him?
Andy forgot a key in the library, so Yeah.
Oh.
Ended up being had to do Turtle Rock twice because of it.
Ooh.
Was
Yeah.
missing a key.
I was.
He did end up doing a Aga Tower anyway, just to pick up that key, and then went to the library to find out it was another Turtle Rock key. Was pretty mad about it.
What was the lumberjack key?
It was
It
another
was also a
key.
Turtle Rock key.
Oh.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm so glad I skipped the vanilla big key location then.
Yeah, so Andy and I think it was, I want to say X-Rock, both did Aghanim 1.
Yep, all that for a small key that can be avoided, but you never know. With that location in Turtle Rock, it could have been the Ganon Tower
Right.
key that could be in there. Still a gamble.
That was the thing forefront on my mind was, what if that's the GT big key in there? Please no.
I think currently Magius is actually looking for this third key to Turtle Rock. He only has 2 under his belt. And I think he's still in the search for the third one. Having that late boots and not being near the library after you got him kind of hurts a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed, overall, this seed was, like we said, it was all over the place, and there was so many items that you needed to get that you guys nearly completed it entirely, 100%.
Yeah, I'm looking at my map now. I missed Aga 1 and the lumberjack. I didn't grab Graveyard Ledge. I didn't do mushroom. I left 1 chest in T-Rock. The big chest in Swamp. And that's it.
Yep, that's about it. A few locations in Ganon's Tower, but by then you did find a big key, so
Yeah.
it was done. Congratulations on your win. You worked hard for it.
I tilted hard after that hook shot. I was sure I was done after that. I just felt my heart sank when I got it. It was like, that's it.
Yeah, well, I think that's a pretty good lesson for everybody watching too. That Keysanity just takes you through all the emotion and pull through and just get through it anyway, because you never know what's gonna happen next.
Yeah, never give up. Never surrender.
Never let the big pig win, for sure.
Other than that, you got any parting words for us?
Just thank you for commentating. Thanks to the trackers. Thanks for everybody behind the scenes. And see you guys next week.
All right, my friend. It'll be definitely very nice to watch you race again next week. Best of luck to you.
Thank you very much. Have a good night, guys.
With that, we have 2 more runners still trying to complete the seed. Magis is still looking for that small key for Turtle Rock, and meanwhile, X-Rock is making his way through to the Turtle Rock in question.
Question for Magius is now, when will he either do Aghanim 1 or Aghanim 1 or go check that library? And unfortunately, we do need to shift our attention to a separate race that is actually going to be starting momentarily. So please give all 4 of these runners a follow. They all definitely deserve it. Please give both of our trackers a follow. They did a fantastic job for us behind the scenes. That would be Itsudemo and Aryer. Please give them both some thanks. They did a great job for us. Dynasty, any final words?
Well, I'm gonna say that this was a real pleasure to commentate, as it was a pretty interesting seed to commentate, and it was a lot of fun to do too.
Yes, absolutely. So with that, please give my co-commentating partner today, Dynasty Zero, a follow. He definitely deserves it.
Of course, the same goes for you, Dark Falls. You did a terrific job.
All right, chat. And with that, we stay tuned here. We will have another race coming up at 8 o'clock. I am Dark Falls 1983, and with me today was Dynasty Zero. We wish you all the best of luck, and have a great evening. We'll see you here momentarily on the next race. Have a great night, everyone. Me and Dynasty are signing off.
See ya.